Well, dang. I talked Houston into switching me rods, and I wanted my little spoon back. And look what he caught on the micro clutch. Look at this. Pull that thing up here.
We need to send this to Flair.
Slamming them on the Guggen bait now.
So what's up, guys? We're back with another video. Before we get started, go down there, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like this video. Today we are back at the trout spot, and this video is sponsored by Mystery Tackle Box. And Mystery Tackle Box is a tackle box that has different kind of lures, and you can kind of pick what kind of box you want, but it doesn't show you what stuff you get in it, so it's kind of like a surprise. But it's sponsored, and I'm pretty sure we're giving away these.
So that's right. Mystery Tackle Box is basically it's a subscription box, or you can buy singles. You can sign up. They're going to deliver a box of tackle to your door specifically for what you're fishing for. So this is a trout and panfish box. You can do, I think they have a catfish box. They've got bass. Things are going to be seasonal, so it's kind of, you can open any of them, buddy. We're going to grab some lures out of here.
I don't know which one.
And do some trout fishing. So Mystery Tackle Box is a great way to discover new and innovative fishing lures. Mystery Tackle Box is the best way for all anglers of all experience levels to try out new baits that you probably never heard of. So as you can see in this box, like I said, this is a trout and panfish box. So there's just a lot of small trout and panfish type lures. So basically it's kind of like Christmas. Every time you get one of these boxes in the mail, tear into it, see what's in there. It's a good way to try out new lures that you've never heard of, never seen before, because if you're like me, you kind of have a few lures that are your go-tos. And for us, when we're trout fishing, typically it's these little power bait balls. So it's going to be interesting to try out a few different lures, see what we can catch today, and hopefully we can finally do that trout catch, clean, and cook video we told everybody about.
Or fry them.
So if you're interested in checking out Mystery Tackle Box, there'll be a link in the description box. You can use the code ARMSFAMILY and get $10 off your first box.
Yeah, you should really do it.
Let's go fishing.
Yeah.
And like Houston said earlier, we probably will use a few lures out of these, and then like we did last time, what we'll do is pick, we'll find somebody that purchases something from our website, armsfamilyhomestead.com, and hats, t-shirts, merch, whatever, and we'll throw one of these boxes in with a random order.
But he can't tell you who it is. You're just gonna have to find out.
All right, off we go. Yonder way. You lead the way. You're supposed to be the expert fisherman. Knows everything about trout fishing. Hey, Houston, I think I showed you, but and tell them about it. They had a trout derby, like a tournament on the river the other day. And there was an 11-pound trout caught. Dang. These are all stocked. They're not native trout, but an 11-pounder. And then I saw another picture where a kid caught an 8-pound trout on a 2-foot Snoopy pole, like a little bitty kiddie pole. Can you believe that?
No.
So hopefully, since, well, the derby was this past weekend and today's Monday, President's Day. Happy President's Day. Kind of late by the time they see this, but anyways, maybe there'll still be a bunch of good bigger trout in here since they stocked them for the trout derby.
So we just got some good news. I was passing by because we had 3 fish and that's
Hey, stop and say that again.
A guy was passing by us and he had 3 fish and they were this big, and he had the same exact bait that we have.
Yep, he said green power bait and silver spoons.
Yeah. And
that's exactly, so we always use the power bait, and there was 2 little silver spoons in those trout boxes. So hopefully that's good news for us. Yeah. Getting rigged up. First cast. Catch fish on the first cast. Good luck, right? You'll have to throw a little farther than that. It's real shallow. You see that rock bluff out in front of you? You got a bite. Houston, I got a nibble. First cast. Hope he takes it. Come on, take it. Nope. Man, missed a fish on my first cast. That's good. We got a bite, Houston. Come down here before you can fish a little deeper water. He's hitting it. Got him. Oh, feels like a good one. Oh, look at him jump. Look at that. First trout of the day, Houston. Probably the biggest one we've ever caught down here. He was right. They did stock some big ones this time. Hey, buddy. Look at that trout.
On Jacoby's pole.
Shh, don't tell him that. Look at that. Man, what a pretty trout. What a pretty fish. That is so stinking cool. Absolutely the biggest one that I've ever caught down at this river. It's not a giant by any means, but typically they're stocking like, you know, 8 to 10 inch fish. And this is probably a good 14-inch fish. Well, we're gonna put him on a stringer though, because we're doing a catch, clean, and cook video. So if you're curious why I have a goat ear tag on this stringer, by law you have to tag each stringer. Each fisherman has to have their own with their name on it, and we're only allowed to keep 3 fish per person. But I don't know if we'll end up keeping 6 today. We just want to have enough to cook. But look at that. Oh, he's got sand on him. That right there is a beautiful rainbow trout. Next cast. Next cast, already got a bite. Houston. Oh, he missed it. Come back and hit it again. I mean, as soon as it got out there on the second cast, the fish took off with it, but I lost him. It's one thing about these trout, man. They're pretty finicky. Dang. I had a bite. Missed him. Take it. Take it. Oh my goodness. Houston, I got another one. Got another one. Number 2. Oh man, these are nice fish, buddy. Get up here, little trout. For all you trout fishermen, I know I'm not an expert and don't have a net, but I'm gonna wet my hands first because I know these things are sensitive little guys, but not as big as the first one. Oh, stay here, buddy. Stay here. Man, that water is cold. Not as big as the first one, but still bigger than what we normally catch down here. Look at that. Man, they are a pretty fish. Just so we can ensure that I know we can still have enough fish to catch, clean, and cook, I'm gonna keep the first couple that I catch, or Houston, but we're not gonna fill our stringers. We're not gonna max out. That way if we catch a trophy, we can keep it later, but we'll go ahead and put those 2 on the stringer. But we can for sure do a catch, clean, and cook video now, Houston. Man, they are hitting like a freight train today. Sometimes we come down here and they just barely nibble. Today, man, you put it in front of them, they hit it hard. And I totally missed it. Sometimes it's hard when you're trying to watch the camera and get everything on video. What'd you say?
Is that just an excuse?
It's facts. Man, getting punked on by a 9-year-old. Houston got one. First trout of the day for Houston.
God.
Are you hung up? Is he hung up on? The excuses. Excuses. Is that an excuse?
What?
What happened? Did he get you wrapped around the limb out there?
Snap my hook off.
Yeah, he broke off your line. Got you wrapped around the limb and broke it. Here, I'll let you, let me cast her out there. All right, I'll let you fish with mine while I retie you a new bait on, okay?
Okay.
So one thing I've done, I've started doing, you know, this is my braided line here, and I use a really small swivel and like 4-pound fluorocarbon, and that little bitty line is much harder to mess with and tie on, but those trout really prefer that light line. I know some guys come down here say they fish with 2-pound test line, but you saw what happened to Houston. He hooked a fish, and this river's got a lot of trees and stumps and brush and stuff in it, and he just broke it off. Houston got one. Is it a big one?
I don't know.
Don't know?
Looks like a nice one. A little one.
He's not a monster, but that's all right.
That one's kind of orange.
Here. Let me hold the pole. Let me hold the pole. You go get the fish.
Where's the towel?
Yep, not a monster, but a good first fish, buddy.
Colors on that thing.
Yep. If we can get the hook out of his mouth without hurting him, we'll turn this one loose, okay?
Okay. You broke it off again, Dad.
Yep. I got the hook, cut his line by accident trying to get it out. Oh, whoop, whoop.
Oh.
Yep, he gone. How about this one? This was out of the mystery tackle box right here. It's called a Danielson spigot spoon. It's green and silver, so we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. All right, there you go. You try out the little spoon.
It glows too.
That's what the package said. We're not fishing in the dark, but
Still. I don't know when it's supposed to do it.
just cast it and reel it. Cast it and reel it. The fish have really slowed down on us. Neither one of us have had a bite in probably 20 minutes, so I think we're going to work our way down the river and see if we can find another set of falls, another little fishing hole. I know 2 or 3 pretty good spots down here. We usually do fairly well, but so far I can't complain. I've got my personal best, my biggest trout ever, and we have plenty of fish to do a catch, clean, and cook with some big fillets. You know, one time we were here, I fished on the downside of this falls for 20 minutes, never caught a fish. Spun around, I thought, oh, there's nothing up here. And ended up catching 3 or 4 right above this falls, huh? Yeah. Let's give it a shot. There's a lot of rocks. You can't reel it super slow here, bud. That slab or that little spoon's pretty heavy, so you got to kind of keep it high and keep it going, okay? You may do better on the downside of the falls with that lure right here. It's really shallow up there. You got a good one, man.
Yeah, buddy. The guy was right.
Huh?
I said the guy was right.
Who, me?
No, the other guy.
I'm the one that just told you to go fish there.
No, the other guy who said the spoon.
Yeah, he did say. He said a silver spoon, and yours is green and silver.
That's a good one.
Sure is. You want to put him on the stringer?
Yeah. He barely was hooked.
He sure was. Yeah, it's too funny. I just said, yeah, Houston, I think you ought to go try that side of the falls.
And on my first cast, he hammered it.
First cast on the little green and silver spoon, just like the guy told us when we were walking in, huh?
Yeah.
He said silver spoon and green power bait. Well, that couldn't have worked out any more perfect. I literally just pulled up my phone to video Houston standing here on this falls fishing because I thought, man, that's pretty. I was going to take a little quick video and take a picture of him, and he catches a fish on the first cast. Well, Houston broke off his green and silver spoon, so I tied a different one on. This one, I think is like a Carl's Bait and Tackle or Mystery Tackle Box exclusive. I'm not positive. Let me find the wrapper. Yeah. So this one's called a Slim John, but it's a Mystery Tackle Box exclusive. I think it's basically made specifically for trout. It's got a barbless hook on it, one single barbless hook, so maybe it won't get hung up in the rocks too bad. See if we have any luck. They really aren't biting that good. Houston caught that one fish, but that's the only fish we've caught in probably the last hour or so. Oh, got a bite. Houston's on a skittle break. May have to go over and try his spot where he just caught that other fish. There's one. Oh man, that feels like a good fish, Houston. Dang. He hit it hard. I didn't have the camera rolling, but I got it on. Let's see. Oh yeah, not a giant, but I'll take it.
That's a pretty one. The colors on that one.
Yep. It's nice because this little lure's got a barbless hook. And fishing faster is a little bit different than fishing that floating power bait and stuff, because they don't swallow the hook near as bad. You saw he was hooked right here in the top of the mouth, so we'll get a good release on this fish and he will have no harm done. Perfect. You just stay on your Skittles break and I'll catch fish, okay? Oh, there's another one. Okay. This one's a little smaller.
That was a little one. Dang, Dad, you're on a roll.
That's 2 fish and 2 casts on a new lure. Look at him. Second one hooked right in the top of the mouth. See how they're getting hooked in there? Falls right out. That barbless hook. We can sit here and catch and release fish all day. All right, Houston decided he wanted to do something a little bit different. So this is a Guggen Baits micro clutch. It's a little bitty small crankbait, a lipless crankbait. Look at that little thing. Tiny little bait. All right, so we're working our way up the river from that last set of falls. It's where all the fish are jumping, basically trying to get to where I was catching them on the spoon.
I don't know if I can make it right there.
You want me to go first? See if you can make it without falling in the river. If you do fall in the river, it's okay, I'm recording. Just not much to hold on to, is there? Oh yeah, there's plenty of room to fish down here. Here, get your pole. Oh, they're still jumping too. Well, dang. I talked Houston into switching me rods, and I wanted my little spoon back. And look what he caught on the micro clutch. Look at this. Pull that thing up here.
We need to send this to Flair.
Slamming them on the Guggen bait now. I really didn't think that would be a very good trout lure. Oh man, they're just slippery. I do not want those hooks in me.
Was that him?
That was the fish.
Sounds like dolphins. Oh, he's starting to fart.
No, he's not. See if I can get this out without getting a hook in my hand.
All he did was hammer it. But,
perfect. Nice little trout. Can I let him go?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let him go.
Hey, that was a pretty one.
Caught right there on the little micro clutch.
Now, do you want it back?
No, that's all right. You can keep it. Well, I think we're gonna call it quits for here for the day and get our fish and go home and clean them up. We're actually gonna try to fillet. We got some pretty good sized trout. We're gonna fillet them and try to fry them. I've never had a fried trout. So we're gonna try it like that. But I'm telling you what, we learned a lot today. I learned a lot. And typically when we come down here, we just use the little green power bait and do the same thing over and over and over. These aren't green, these are the little rainbow colored, but they're just power bait. I've got several different kinds, several different types. We're out of that one, but anyways, the mystery tackle box paid off. I mean, Houston even caught one on the little Guggen micro clutch, the little spoons, a lot of stuff that I never would have tried. Honestly, I wouldn't have bought it because I would just stick with what I know works. And I think we caught more fish on lures than we did the power bait today.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah. This is the best time we've ever fished, I think, here, just because we've had so much fun, just learning so much about these animals. They're just so cool. They're so strong, and there's not many around here like this.
Well, we're going to take these 3 home and cook them up, huh?
Yeah.
These are all stock. These are not, like I said earlier, they're not native trout. They're all stocked by the state, so I think they put bigger ones in since they had the trout derby this past weekend. So anyways, we're going to begin our journey out of here and go eat some fish. You hungry?
Yeah.
I've been telling you guys I wanted to try some fried trout, and we actually have some that are big enough now that I think I could fillet pretty easily. So I'm going to fillet these up, see how it turns out, and then we're going to take them up to the house and fry them. All right, got the fish all cleaned up, got the oil heating up out here on my outdoor fish cooker, and we're just gonna batter these things in some Louisiana fish fry mix. Alrighty, see how it does. Got the oil up to about 350, 360. Never tried fried trout before, so this is new to us. Looks pretty much like any other fried fish. All right, buddy, I got all our trout fried up, and we got an extra taste tester out here. I'm gonna tell you, the trout are gonna have a few extra bones in them. Earl, you can't have any right now.
Nobody.
And I've never had fried trout. I don't know, just be careful when you eat.
Yours definitely did.
The bigger, thicker pieces are probably gonna have most of the bones in them, but
there's a tiny one.
yep.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating bread.
Eating bread.
Oh, so good.
Right here.
Earl wants a bite, Mom.
That is so good.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to work around the bones, so just know that, okay? Trout, it's kind of hard to fillet all the bones out of them. That's why people eat them whole, and then when you peel that skin off, the meat just peels right off the bone. Frying them's a little bit different.
That's amazing.
Really?
Yes.
Could you say that again?
It's amazing.
Did you say Daniel's amazing?
That's not what I said.
That's what you meant, though, right?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Since I'm so amazing, let's. The bones are tiny. That's the thing. They're just little bitty, very small.
Oh, there's a couple. I don't even know that you'll know you're eating them sometimes.
Oh, they're tiny. That is very good. Like,
Yeah.
I would almost compare it.
It tastes like crappie.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'd almost compare these smaller fillets, the real thin ones like this, to a crappie.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I honestly didn't expect that.
Really?
I thought it would be good. I wouldn't expect my wife to compare it to crappie.
It was really good.
That's delicious. You get Emily out here, let her try one. Drawing a crowd. Trashy's here.
Don't video me.
What? I have to.
Come on, look at me. Dad, stop. Stop, Dad.
Emily.
Dad, stop.
Try the fish.
Not until you stop videoing me.
Try the fish.
Dad, stop.
It's amazing.
I'm not looking at the camera. The bones.
There may be a bone. That's a skinny
Dad!
piece. The little thin pieces are fine.
Stop.
There's nothing wrong.
I'm in my server shirt. Stop.
Server shirt, huh?
Yeah.
Well, serve me up a good taste test. Tell me how it is.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. Dad, stop.
Quit being a teenager.
I got crap all over me.
Okay, honest opinion time. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. The fried trout was amazing, but I will say this. We kept the biggest trout because I thought it'd be easiest to fillet and have the best fillet. The smaller one was by far better than the large fillets. The fillets that are real thick and meaty almost were a little bit dry, but the little thin ones like we showed you that DJ ate and like Emily had that when she wouldn't be on camera because she's a goofy teenager, the little thin ones, I'm not kidding you, tasted just like crappie, like fried crappie, and that was amazing. So if I had the option, would I take trout or crappie? I'd go for crappie every time. They're easier to fillet. You don't have to worry about the bones. But the little small pieces didn't have too many bones in them. It really wasn't that bad. The bones are so small, I think you probably eat some of them and don't even know it. I'm gonna call that a huge success. So, Houston, we've been wanting to do a fried trout catch, clean, and cook video for a while. You can't quit eating.
No.
But it's officially done. Thank you for going. Appreciate it. Caught some awesome trout. Caught my biggest trout ever, which there's not a lot to compare it to, but it was fun.
So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.